Hello and welcome to another How I Make Things. This is from a silicone mold. The orange is smooth on and the white is just caulk, silicone caulk. There's a lot of videos on how to do it, and here's a sample cast from resin. Didn't turn out too great because I didn't have a lot of resin left, so it's kind of... Here's the first one I did with paint job. It's just acrylic paint. But I'm gonna do this next mold with foam clay. It's called Cosplay Foam Clay. I think this package was $15, $15. And I still have some. I've made a few, and there's still some left, so a little bit will go a long way. And you look at it, it's super light. It's like foam. And I'm gonna test it on the little Frankenstein, and the next video I'll do it on that ape mask. This stuff, it takes detail pretty well, but since this was my first test, I had to see. It's sealed pretty tight. If you open it too long, it'll dry, of course, but when it comes out, it almost has the consistency of putty. But I've had an open bag for a few weeks now, and the consistency is still the same. You can paint over it, and you could wet it a little bit. It's not waterproof, so you have to seal it when it's dry. So for this test, I'm just gonna fill in the mold. If you notice, just take a little bit at a time and press it into the texture and the details. So I ordered this online, but you could get it from a local art store. It's pretty popular now. I've noticed a lot of cosplayers using this stuff. That's where I saw it first. And I wasn't sure it was gonna work, so I didn't put in big glops of it. It's just testing. And if you notice, it sticks pretty well, but it sticks to itself. So it's sticking to my hands, but then I just take another ball and it'll stick to the wall. Again, filling in the walls. So the mold is a two-part, smooth on, brush on. I forgot what the name of the exact silicone is called. Silicone. But it's brush on. So you mix the two parts, part A, part B, and then just brush it onto the sculpture, and then you get the cool molds. It's pretty fast. I think I did a few layers, but it's expensive. That's why I was experimenting with the silicone caulk, which is a lot cheaper. I think I bought a bottle of that for maybe like $3, $4, as long as it's 100% silicone, and you mix it with dish detergent in water, so it doesn't stick to your hands. Like how it's sticking to my finger right now, the foam. Again, I was being cheap. I could have taken a big glop of the stuff and stuffed it in the mold and pushed it in that way. But I wanted to save the foam for the mask. It sticks to the plastic a little bit, but not too bad. This whole setup probably costs under $40. The mold is it's Frankenstein. It's Boris Karloff Frankenstein. It's probably one of my favorite sculpts I made. I did it out of monster clay. I have about 10 casts of that so far. and it's still... Every mold has stayed together pretty well. And this is when it's all stuffed, and 48 hours later, I take it out. The mother mold, the shell over there, is made out of glue gun, like dry glue gun. And here I'm seeing if it's still wet, and it's mostly dry. The exposed surface is completely dry. The inside, I still have to test. It should come off pretty easily. If I had waited probably 70 hours, it would have been completely dry. So I should have been a little more patient. But, still works. It's just a test. I didn't want to damage it too much. You could tell I didn't stuff it in them as much on the nose, so there's a little bump over there. I could take more foam clay, which I did. The forehead is also still a little wet, the brow area. I ended up taking a little bit more clay and fill in the nose. That's how the foam clay works, and thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.